Hello everyone and welcome to this week's reviews. Laika returns with their 5th feature-length movie, although it marks a bit of a departure from their previous output. A journey with an adventurer and the famed Sasquatch, what sights and other beings will they come across? This is Missing Link. As I mentioned, this is a different film than we're accustomed to seeing from Laika. All their other movies have been about children navigating a dark world. Missing Link, on the other hand, is closer in spirit to something Jules Verne would come up with, and one can definitely see the influence of stories like Around the World in 80 Days and Journey to the Center of the Earth. Director-writer Chris Butler, previously responsible for Paranorman, crafts a very funny story, and I really enjoy the interactions between Sir Lionel Frost and the Sasquatch Mr. Link. Hugh Jackman and Zach Galifianakis' voice work is great, and there's a particularly good running gag where Mr. Link takes everything literally. It's a credit to Butler that this never gets old. They're also paired with another adventurer, Adelina, voiced by Zoe Saldana, and Butler avoids the temptation to make her and Frost a romantic couple. We also get some villains, and while they have some amusing moments, I'm not sure they were entirely necessary. What I found appealing was the bond that forms between this trio, and the journey was already exciting enough without additional antagonists. Being a Laika production, Missing Link is stunningly animated. The animators do an excellent job with the action set pieces and giving weight to the characters. Chris Butler's character designs also have a uniqueness to them, and Lou Romano also deserves mention for the production design. Seeing the amount of sets here really adds to the journey. I also like how Missing Link feels like a genuine period piece, and the movie impressively avoids too many anachronistic gags and modern pop culture references. It has an appropriately late 19th century appearance, and like Verne's work, is a celebration of the ingenuity of that era, when new advances led to traveling being made much easier. While not among my favorite Laikas, I would personally put Paranorman at number 1, there is still a lot to admire. Next up, a tyrannical boss wakes up one morning and is 13 years old, in Little. A lot of us have seen our fair share of age-swapping comedies, most notably Big, and even last week with Shazam. Little does not rewrite the script in that regard, and follows the template more or less closely. However, it succeeds where it matters, and that's in the comedy. No, the humor is hardly revolutionary, but director Tina Gordon-Chisholm knows how to use her leading ladies, and they provide a decent number of laughs throughout the movie. When the film starts, I found it a tad slow, but the first 15 or so minutes are necessary to set up Regina Hall's character, Jordan Sanders, the head of an app software company. And when Jordan de-ages, Marseille Martin nails her mannerisms. She apparently came up with the idea for this movie and is also an executive producer, and Martin really digs into the role. She takes what are admittedly predictable scenarios and makes them funny with her delivery and mannerisms. Her interactions with Issa Rae, who plays Jordan's assistant, also allows for plenty of quick one-liners and how she deals with this strange predicament. While I did laugh quite often throughout the movie, I do feel Little could have taken a bit more advantage of its premise. There surprisingly are not that many scenes of Jordan in school, even though we do get some funny scenes when she enrolls, and what appears to be a major subplot with her teacher goes nowhere. He has a few scenes with her, and then he's gone and we never see him again. I think he was the only teacher we see in that school, which is odd. It gives off the impression that they cut a lot of the movie to get it down to an hour and 50 minutes, which is already pretty lengthy for a comedy with such a simple premise. I also felt the attempts at more serious moments did not quite land, and the film's message was rather forced. With that said, the jokes do hit more often than not, and the actors are given plenty of good material to work with, so Little passes the bare minimum required of it, and I think it's worth a viewing. Thank you for watching this week's reviews, and I'll see you next time.